Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another night here on Spirit Connections. I'm so excited tonight. Why? What's different? Dogs. We have dogs in the studio. And more importantly, they're my dogs. I have all three of my fur babies here, and I'm so happy about it. Lily's obviously been here forever, and she's been to the studio forever. This is Olive. I know this is her second time here. Are you excited, Olive? That's it, yeah. She's very excited. So it's going to be a good time tonight. I hope all of you animal lovers out there stay tuned. My name is Tiffany Rice, Spirit Medium, and my guest tonight is Miss Sara Corey. She's an animal communicator. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Good. So I have to let you guys know, I know you guys have heard me talk about Sugar Plum Bakery all the time. It's located in Kingston. I met Sara through Sugar Plum Bakery because I'm an avid fan of Sugar Plum. And so I would go in there and we would talk about spirit connections and talk about being intuitive and so forth. And that was kind of our first conversation, is how we were both a little bit on the intuitive side, and we kept it going. And then I found out even more about you, Sara, that you actually help out with, what's the organization?
I work with Last Hope Canine Rescue.
See, and I think, so dog rescue. Rescue, rescue, rescue. I can't say it enough. 2 out of the 3 dogs are rescues, so I'm happy for that. Yeah. So talk to me. How did you get involved? How did you get involved?
We have a stowaway.
Yeah. Chloe and we don't know what's going to happen. It's pretty unpredictable tonight. But so we have Olive here, and Olive wants to know, same with me, how did you get involved with animal communication?
Well, I started off as just an animal lover from when I was a very little kid. My mother remembers me at the zoo when I was about 4 years old, and I was staring at this sea lion, and me and the sea lion were staring at each other for a good 30 minutes until my mother finally pulled me away, and had no idea what had happened, and I don't personally remember it, but I just do remember having a very intense connection with animals from a young age, and always wanted as many animals as I possibly could. And stopped believing in Santa because my father wouldn't get me a puppy for Christmas, and it was always animals. I always loved being around them, and it wasn't until very recently that I realized I could communicate with them. I had started doing some intuitive classes, getting into it, and I took an animal communications class at Uplifting Connections, where I was given a photo of a dog and was asked to do a reading on the photo, and I was very surprised when everything I said was very accurate. And at that point, it kind of opened a door for me. So so far I've done some phone readings and some in-person readings, especially if there's a rescue dog that has issues, I'll definitely do a free reading in that situation. And it's really amazing what the animals tell you.
See, and it's true, because when I do readings on people, especially medium readings, I always say, it could be not only family members or friends, but also pets come through too. And
pets come through all the time.
Let's face it, they all have souls. We're all energy. We all can communicate.
Exactly.
And so for me, they always show me images, and I also get emotion on how they feel. Now, I've had an experience with Sara where she has given one of my dogs, Lily, a reading before, and you were right on the money. And it was great because you're actually giving her a voice, and it's something that I always felt and knew, but actually hearing it, it was amazing.
Yeah, it's really incredible. And what we don't realize most of the time is that we actually do communicate with our animals. A really good example of that is I was communicating with a dog, and I asked the owner what her and her boyfriend are fighting about. And she said, "What are you talking about? Why would you know that we're fighting?" basically. And I said, "Because that's what your dog's showing me. They're showing you and him arguing in the bed right before bedtime about the dog, and the dog can pick up on that. They show me images and emotions that they see, and that's usually the best way to communicate with them, is through feelings, emotions, and imagery."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, they definitely can. I mean, I can tell right now that Olive is beyond excited to be here. she's like, oh, we're out of the house, huh? We went for a nice long walk today and so forth. So I'm very interested on how you would give her a reading. But before we get to that, what are you doing to continue on with developing your gift?
I'm planning on taking a few more classes. I'm really interested in that. Interesting sort of like opening up new avenues as to how I do it. Usually when I do a reading, if it's a really sort of deep reading to kind of get some past information, I'll usually do a meditation of some sort and then see what comes through. Ask the dog, where it came from. What experiences do you remember? Why are you scared of this? What's happened?
Right.
So stuff like that. And then usually when it's sort of one-on-one, something like this, it's a little bit more basic. I don't get as much in depth, but I usually get to, have a good chat with them. So that's fun.
So do you want to just jump into it and see if you can pick up on anything with Miss Crazy Pants Olive? She is a ball of energy.
Well, let me see what I can do.
Do you want to hold her? Would that help?
Let me hold her.
Okay, get your muscles out.
Oh my God, she's so beautiful. Hi. Oh.
She's a French bulldog.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah. Olive May.
You want to sit?
Oh yeah, if there's water, if there's food, she'll go. I'll take it.
Okay. So here I'm just going to take a moment to kind of relax myself and relax my mind, and then I'm going to see what comes through. Okay, she doesn't know what's going on right now. She's very excited. She's in a very good mood. But at this moment in time, every single image, she's like literally like every single image is interesting. Like it's almost just like bouncing from space to space to space to space. So she doesn't have a whole lot. She's very curious as to why she's here, but she thinks this is a very fun place to be. As you can tell.
And she's just gone, and there she goes.
And it does happen. I do have dogs that I try to communicate with them, and they have no idea what's going on.
Right.
And so they bolt. Like I've had dogs that literally look at me and jump away. So I can see if she wants to. Olive, do you want to have a convo? Yeah? Come here. Come here, baby girl.
And she's a runner too.
Yeah. Well, this is
definitely a runner.
Exciting and interesting for her.
Exactly.
So
it's a big place. So what you guys, you can see how beautiful it is. So imagine running around in it, huh? I'm just gonna grab her for you.
Okay.
Come here, little baby. I call her Big Baby.
Yeah. Hey. Okay, so she's, I'm basically what I told, when I start off in animal communication, I try to remind the dog how beautiful they are. Hey, it's really nice to meet you, the same way you'd greet a person. So right now she's very pleased with the fact that I'm noticing her beauty. She says,
look at how she's staring at her.
Thank you very much, I am so beautiful. And she wants to know if I'm a veterinarian, and I'm telling her that this is not what this is about. Okay, see, all right, so good. We're not at the veterinarian's office. That's good. Was dinner late tonight? Did they have dinner yet tonight?
No.
Okay, she wants to know what happened to dinner.
Well, because she wants to eat everything all the time. That's why she's a big baby.
Yeah, she's not happy about the fact that dinner was not served tonight. And she's wondering when that's going to happen for her.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Do you pick up anything on her emotional side? She is adopted.
As she settles down, let's see what's coming up. She's free. She says that she feels like sometimes she's not taken seriously, and I'm trying to explain to her that sometimes that's her behavior because she's a goofball and she's so silly. She wants to be called beautiful more often, whereas usually it's expressed to her that she's goofy or cute or adorable, but she really feels like it's really important for her to feel like she's beautiful.
Look at how calm she's become.
And she's very much, and I don't know if you noticed this thank you, I love you. I don't know if you noticed this on your walk today with her too, but she's showing me like yellow flowers and daisies and sunlight and warmth of the spring is really exciting for her. And
her harness is yellow too.
Okay, so
by the way,
she really likes being in the outdoors. I'd say especially more than your other dogs. Being outdoors for her is very much being in tune with what she's happy with. And she's saying that that couch and TV time is kind of boring for her. That there's not a whole lot going on. And I don't know if there's a toy that when you're watching television that you'll kind of throw for her at times, but she loves that. She says that's the only time she likes TV time. So, see. So good. You're so brave. And she's seen, and I don't want to get too much into your personal life, but she's showing me that you're on the phone crying about something, and that's making her very worried.
Oh.
She doesn't know what's wrong, and she wishes that you would explain that to her. And when you do explain it to her, just show the imagery in your head of why you're upset, and also explain to her that she helps you feel safe, because that's important. She was young when you got her, though.
Yes, she was.
She wasn't, I mean, she may be rescued, but she was young because she doesn't remember a whole lot about the couple that she lived with. She remembers it was kind of chaotic and she didn't get to a whole lot of attention being paid to her. I feel like there was a crate and there was a lot of time that she spent in the crate, and she's almost showing me looking out of the crate and watching people go by, and arguing about things and going in and out, and not a whole lot. She was almost felt like an observer. There wasn't any
right.
There wasn't any abuse or anybody being mean to her, but it was more just kind of being ignored. And when okay, hang on. Yeah, okay. So she met you when she met you. She shows you. She almost sees you as kind of this burst of energy and light, especially because I feel like you paid attention to her more than her previous owner did. That even when you two were in the same room, you were always paying more attention to her. You were always more excited about her, and she met Lily too at that same time. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, because Lily was very comforting to her. Lily reminded her that she was in a safe environment now that she was safe, and Lily takes a very mothering, is very motherly towards her, because that's what she's showing me as well, that Lily's my mom, and although my mom might boss me around sometimes, she knows what's best. She's definitely showing her as sort of like, you two are the boss. You and Lily are the boss.
Yes, we are.
And she's kind of like the little sister, and getting along with everybody. She's very sweet. She's bright. Her attention level is literally always on everything.
Her ears.
But she's actually very bright.
She's super smart. She knows exactly.
She may have a little bit of difficulty with smelling and with breathing through the nose. My nose is getting a little bit clogged. So I definitely keep an eye on that. I feel like too there might be some allergies that come up that may affect her breathing a little bit, but it's nothing that's too serious.
Nothing to worry about.
Her eyesight is very good. Her hearing is very good.
Okay.
She's getting bored with this because she's wondering.
She's like, I need to explore.
The funny thing is, she started off this conversation with asking me, where's my dinner? And now she's like, we still haven't gotten to dinner yet. So what is going on?
She's like, the table's right over there.
Yeah, it's so funny. But she says she's talking to me about how lately, you have been crying, but I feel like it's almost sort of been this kind of mountain that you're kind of going over, where there was sort of a peak time of you getting upset, and she's saying too now that especially with the warm weather coming out, you're smiling more, you're showing more positivity. She's very excited about that. That makes her happy because you're very, to her, you're very safe. You're a very safe place. You're a protective place. You're a place where she can feel comfortable. You let her sleep in the bed with you, right?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't. No, she's crated.
Okay.
She's crated, yeah. Because I know you guys probably can't see it here, but she sheds so much.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't wear black.
Why she's showing that to me then too, is because she would like to sleep in the bed with you.
Oh my gosh, she would love to. Well, every morning, like clockwork, she will wake me up crying and crying, crying. I've been playing meditation music for her, and she's been sleeping a little bit longer, but
some sort of stimulation, I think, is going to
right.
be very helpful. Is there anything that you want me to ask her?
Well, I guess I know this sounds so general, and you probably hear it all the time, but I just hope, I just want her to feel comfortable, and I hope that she's happy living with me.
She's very happy. I think that and usually this is what happens too, that dogs will frequently tell me what they want. That she just wants, and I think too this matches her personality, she wants more activities to do.
Right.
She wants to.
Spring is here.
I think that any sort of outdoor activities are going to be really beneficial for her, help her to feel connected, help her to feel a little more like a dog.
And
but she loves you. I mean, she's very, very much attached to you. Very much, has decided that you're her person.
And what about her separation anxiety? Why does she cry? I feel like it's separation anxiety in the morning. Every morning, she'll just cry and cry, and I think it goes beyond needing to go out.
It's just, what I'm getting from her is that it's just been entirely too long. That like for us, 8 hours of sleep is very nice and very normal. For her, it's almost like her taking a nap and then getting up and needing to have that stimulation. And then at the same time, it's almost, dogs have a very pack-like mentality, so they sleep together, they stay in the same house together, which is why I get so upset when I see dogs that are chained up outside, because it's just...
Oh, don't even get me
one of the most
going.
torturous things you can do to a pack animal. And so I think that's too, at this point in time, she really wants to be with her pack again. Is she created with the others, or is she created by herself?
Chloe's created as well. So, they're created in the same room.
They're in the same room?
But
are
they're
they
not
in the same
created
crate?
No.
Okay. So I would try maybe putting them two in the same crate, so she might feel like she has a buddy, a pack buddy, because they do feel like there's...
Chloe and Olive do sometimes share a crate. Like, they'll go in, because I leave the crate doors open, so they'll go in and cuddle.
I would try it, yeah. I think that would be definitely beneficial for her to have somebody to sort of be with in those morning hours when she's kind of feeling like she really needs to have a companion around.
Look at them. I know, I keep on, for you guys at home, I know you're like, why is she looking? But that's where the screen is. So I'm seeing
that's
where
how I see my face.
Yeah, that's exactly. And for you guys at home, again, this is Sara Corey. She's an animal communicator. If you have any questions, make sure you ask those questions in the chat room. We can respond to you as soon as we get them, because I know Sara would love to hear your questions. Now, let me ask you this. Do the animals, because I know you do, I have dogs, but I know there are other animals. So do you have to be in the presence of the animal, or could you do a phone reading on the animal? Or?
Usually when I do a phone reading, I ask for a picture of the dogs, preferably with the eyes looking at the camera. For some reason they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and for some reason that's very helpful for me to get in touch with the dog. I've worked with missing dog cases before where having those eyes looking directly at me have been really, really helpful. To work with. So I can do phone readings. Of course, I love doing them in person because I get to hang out with the furries. I have 4 dogs of my own, and I have a pet rat, and I have fish. So I'm a big lover of the animal kingdom.
And it's funny too, because when I adopted Chloe, which you guys will meet in a couple minutes, but when I adopted Chloe, originally I had gone, since I knew Sara, I went to her organization, and I actually took a look at one of your dogs, and then that's when I met. You had just recently rescued a pit bull.
I did. My Odie.
And he's adorable.
Oh my God, he's
absolutely
amazing.
Gorgeous.
He's amazing. I wish I could put a picture up for you right now. He's the cutest dog.
I know. Why didn't we think of that? I should have thought of that.
Such is life.
I know.
No, but he's been amazing to work with. He's quite the personality. And the way that it worked out, too, I love the way that it's kind of an interesting thing, too, to talk about, that I know a lot of pet owners out there feel like they've known their dog forever, or feel like this was really meant to be, and it really is. Dogs and humans, we all have these soul connections with one another, and when you feel like it's meant to be, it usually is. I had one really interesting case where this dog came up from Arkansas. And he was like a senior Doberman that didn't have a lot of time left.
So sad.
And the director of our rescue had asked to basically take this dog for the rest of his life. He had about 6 months left. And when I saw that dog's picture, I was like, this is what is supposed to happen. This is what it's meant to be. And he got there and spent, a couple days there and was just the happiest dog in the world. He'd finally found everything that, he loved. Everything was beautiful. He showed his new owner with just sunlight behind her. It was beautiful. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. And she came home a couple days later and he had passed away on the bed that she had bought for him. And she was devastated. And he was a very strong spirit, and he immediately came to me and said, my soul has found its home. Yeah. Their souls were connected, and he could finally rest once that piece of the puzzle had come together. It was really I get goosebumps telling that story because it really was just amazing. He's just like, I'm sticking around, I'm hanging out here, she can't make me go, this is where I belong. So.
Well, because they continue on, just like humans do, they continue on.
Mm-hmm. So. They have a lot more to tell us than what we realize. And what we don't realize, too, is that we communicate with them
And that's why I get very agitated when I hear about stories or see it on Facebook or watch it on TV, how there's animal cruelty out there. I have no tolerance for animal cruelty whatsoever.
It's
no
disgusting.
tolerance.
It's disgusting. I recently made the switch over to cruelty-free, and there's a really cool application that you can get on your phone to find all cruelty-free products. And
wow.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And making the switch really isn't hard at all. And I honestly, walking out of the store and feeling like I'm actually making some kind of a difference in that, in that spectrum is really awesome. I feel good.
What do you think, Olive?
She thinks it's great.
Should we bring Chloe in? Yeah? She knows her sisters are in the other room. And that's why. Okay, we're switching it up. Okay.
Oh, Princess.
Come on, Olive.
Hey. Hi. Come here, love. Oh, no, we have to be brave.
Go on.
We have to be brave, right? We have to be brave. We do have to be brave.
So this is Chloe. This is
I know.
One of my rescues. She likes to get up close and personal.
She does.
She is a Yorkie mix.
So brave. I know. I know. It's very important for you to understand how brave she is.
She is so.
She's like, I am so brave. She's like, look, I made it up on the counter, and she's like,
I love you.
She immediately starts going through to me about all the things that she's proud of herself about.
Oh, of course, yeah, yeah.
She says.
So go on.
Okay. Yes, she basically has the soul of a very much larger dog. I wouldn't be surprised if in a past life she was larger than life and very very courageous because she still has that sense of adventure about her. She's still I feel like I would never take this dog off leash because I feel like she would be off the wall.
Can I tell you, she has, where I used to live, I lived right off of a main road, and a couple times she has gotten out and she went sprinting right for the main road, so of course I went sprinting right behind her and in tears because I was like, this is it, there's no way this dog is going to make it. And it happened twice, and each time, the last house before the main street, there was bushes that was blocking the main street. She took a right into there and just waited for me to get there both times. But that sprint of her running towards the main street, my heart was just palpitating and I was so nervous.
Imagine.
And it's funny because now since I have moved from that location, she's more calm and don't get me wrong, she loves the outdoors as well, but
she's also very sensitive too. I feel like she's very sensitive to any sort of scolding or anything like that. If she has upset you or hurt your feelings, it's devastating to her. That is the worst thing that she could possibly do is make mommy upset. That's not okay. I know, sweet girl. I know. Of course.
And this is what she does.
Of course. You guys cannot see the face that is looking at me right now, but if you could, it's
she has human eyes.
It's like a tiny baby Ewok is looking at my face right now and trying to kiss it, and it's amazing.
This is why you need to rescue, guys. There's so many dogs that need homes. There's so many.
Now, she also came to you very young, right?
I think she was about 5 months old.
Okay. And she had spent some time, I don't think she spent a lot of time in a shelter environment, though.
No,
She spent
it
time in a
was
foster
once
home or-
because I had contacted you, and then when I decided to really start looking, the day that I saw her, and I was checking it pretty regularly. I was checking. I went to petfinder.com and so forth, and right when she came about, I put the request in, and they did a home visit, and it was really pretty easy. I had a phone interview, home visit, and right away they said, okay, you're getting her in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but she was in a foster care situation. She
Yes.
wasn't in a shelter. She didn't spend a lot of time in a shelter,
No.
as far as she can tell me. She said has no sort of traumatic anything from her past, as far as I can tell. The first memory that she has is being in that foster home environment, and so
Hey, Clo.
after that, it's just kind of you, and it's just kind of excitement. But she wants me to let you know that she would really like one-on-one time with you.
Oh, I know.
That's very important to her. She really wants private car rides with you. I feel like more than the other two, she's a little more independent and really wants that human, like, she says, I want her to belong to me and just me.
Well, you know what it is because when I adopted her, it was October, and then Olive was unexpected. She was a surprise. But I adopted Olive in January.
Okay.
So it wasn't, again, Olive was more unexpected. I wasn't planning on getting a third dog, but it just so happened that was an opportunity that I needed to do.
Yeah.
And I did. And so she's never really been, Chloe has never been an only dog. She's immediately had to share with Lily, and now it's, and then Olive was the baby, so she got all the attention. So Chloe's the middle.
Now, what's the funny? I know that she loves it when you sing to her. She loves the singing, but then she's also showing me like a funny thing that Mommy does, like almost like a funny dance to her.
Well, we dance together.
Okay.
We
She
do.
loves
We
that.
dance together, and she likes to cuddle inside my sweatshirt all the time.
She's very.
So we dance, and then sometimes we'll have fun looking in the mirror.
I bet I would have fun looking in the mirror if I had that face.
Huh.
She also shows me too with sleeping. She always wants to be sleeping next to somebody. That's very important to her. She
It's
really
so
likes
funny
sleeping
because
alone.
out of all of them, if one of them is sleeping, she'll climb right on top of them and lay right on them.
It's very important to her.
The other ones they'll cuddle with me, but she's the only one that will actually lay on them.
Is there anything that you want me to ask her?
You know what? She is, and it's probably pretty common for most breeds like hers, but she seems to be deathly afraid of water. So I don't know if there was a traumatic experience.
No, she doesn't know what it is. She doesn't understand it. There was no bad experience with it unless it was something mild like a bath, but I'm not getting that because I'm almost getting the actual fear is not as much of the water coming down as it is of the reflection off of it. That especially like a pool or a lake kind of environment, she doesn't understand why the sky is reflecting. She doesn't understand what you should do with that. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
I mean, she says she puts up with baths. Does that make sense? I mean, she.
Well, actually, because of her hair, I've gotten her groomed.
Okay.
I have given Olive and Lily baths because they have the short hair, but Chloe, I get her groomed.
Yeah, she puts up with that from as far as I can tell. But it is with the water. It's the reflectivity of it that makes her nervous. She doesn't understand what's going to happen next. The same way when we walk to the edge of something and we look down, we know not to go farther because that means we're going to drop really far. To her, it's very that's what water surface is very similar.
Now, since you do deal with a lot of dogs, is there a particular breed of dog that you take to most or more?
I mean, I love pit bulls. I love pit bulls, and I love anything that has a square jaw. I don't know why, like French bulldogs, pit bulls, big fat heads. I love the big fat heads. I have a big fat head too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But then I look at, I never would have thought, I never wanted I never went out and tried to find a Yorkie, a Yorkshire Terrier. And I mean, obviously she is a mix, but you can definitely tell that she's either mixed with a Yorkie and maybe a Border Terrier or something like that.
She also, I'm sorry to
She's so
interrupt you.
petite.
She
No, it's
likes
okay.
she likes having a male companion around too. I feel like she likes men in particular as well. I don't know if you've noticed that with any of the people that you've dated, that she's sort of drawn to them, but she's telling me she likes them because they look big and brave. They remind her of herself. Does that make sense?
You yell, fresh girl.
Yeah.
I see. I can't even take it. Like,
Yeah.
look at how beautiful she is.
She's super cute. I can't even stand it. Do you see your face? Can you even handle your face?
I can't handle it. I can't.
Yeah.
And then she likes to do little hairstyles too. She always has like either bedhead or. Can you see? She's like a little mini Chewbacca.
Right now? Are you slightly embarrassed? I know. I am sorry. This is what happens when you're so cute. This is what happens.
No, because I know I want to bring Lily in too, but before, look, I just can't. Seriously? Again, this is Sara Corey. She's Animal Communicator. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask. It doesn't matter. It could be a cat question. It could be a iguana question. Doesn't matter. It's, again, I had the dog, so I brought the dogs in. It's just an excuse to bring my girls to work with me.
Yeah, it's a fun night with everybody here, the fur faces here. She's in very good health though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she's at the top of her game. Just because you're young, huh? You're young and sprightly. I also feel like she's very in tune to your emotions, maybe a little bit more than the other dogs. She really knows what's going on. She may not know how to react to it, but she's very in tune with what's going on with you in your head.
Oh, that should be interesting, Chloe, huh?
Yeah. I would say too, if she seems to sort of be looking at you like what's going on in your head, I would say, try to make a mental image of what's going on in your head so she can have a better understanding of that. Because I know that when I've been crying, my JoJo knows, like, when I'm upset, that, like, what the job is kiss mommy's face until she starts smiling. Like, that's what we do. But with some of my dogs, when I start crying, they just don't understand my reaction. They don't understand the emotion behind it. So usually I'll take some time to sort of try to, through mental imagery, kind of explain what's going on in my head. Why is mommy behaving this way? Mommy's behaving this way because this is how this is how her heart feels right now.
Right.
This is, and sometimes they're still just weirded out by it, and sometimes they're like, oh, I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm sorry you feel like that. That's terrible,
Look at how comfortable she is. She's just chilling. Huh.
She's very wise, though, too.
All of them are really just smart and in tune.
Mm-hmm. You have a high energy bunch.
Oh yeah, they are. Mm-hmm. They are. But then it's funny because I'll always give them Reiki, especially if they get in a little crazy. I'm like, oh, come here. The only time that they are off the wall really is when it thunders out. And I'm sure for you guys at home, if you have animals, dogs especially, when it thunders, they go crazy.
It's very intense for them. It's literally like every part of their instinct is telling them avalanche, earthquake.
Oh yeah.
Go
to the highest top.
Yeah, I mean, they hear thunder and they don't think lightning. They hear thunder and they think the world is crashing around me. And that's another thing too that I will tell people a lot. When you have a fearful dog, I've seen a lot of people be like, well, they just kind of got to toughen it up. So we'll just not react and, let them kind of get over their fear. And that's probably one of the worst things that you can do. One of the best things that you can do is the same thing that you would do with a child who's scared, is reassure them. Let them know that they're safe. A lot of dogs like to, especially in times like that, be hugged and be held close to them. Because it helps them to feel secure the same way that, we use the thunder shirt and stuff like that, or blanket.
Olive has a thunder shirt.
Helping them feel safe and secure is very important. And reassuring them that when I'm with you, nothing bad is going to happen to you. I promise you that. That's
right.
Really. But don't make that promise unless you can keep it, because, you see so many dogs that end up in shelters and I talk to these dogs that end up in shelters, and they say to me, this person this person promised they'd be here and they're not here, and why am I here? You know, and I don't want to
it makes me so emotional and angry at the same time. Like I can remember one time, and this is going back probably a good 10 years ago now. I was looking to adopt a dog, and I was at one of the shelters, and there was a pug that had just come in, and the pug just stared out the window, and they said, well, the owner that surrendered this dog, this isn't the first time he's done this. It's repetitive for him to do this, and they always blame it on allergies. Well, you know what? Don't get the dog. Plain and simple. Don't adopt. If your schedule's too busy, don't do it. It's really easy. So you're doing more harm than good. So really think about what your schedule is like. Exactly. Also, think about the type of breed that you want. If you are lazy, then you don't want to get
you don't want to get a terrier.
Yeah, you don't want to get a terrier. You don't want to get a lab. Like, you don't want to get a puppy. There's so many senior dogs that are looking for homes that their energy level is kind of a little bit, a little bit more level. There's so many. It's just do your research. Do yourself a favor and do your research before you go really looking. And it's a commitment. It's not something where, there was someone that I know that thought it would be a great idea to adopt a dog for her kids. And, the kids are at an age where they're just starting to go out with their friends a lot. So her never having an animal before, she adopts the dog. And 2 weeks goes by, and it's not the dog is fine, but she's upset because her kids won't take care of the dog. Well, it's probably because your kids are really into going out with your friends and not staying home.
Yeah, do not get a dog for your kids.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and she was annoyed that the dog, who came from just one previous owner who passed away, was following her around all the time. So it's kind of like, you know what, do yourself a favor, do everybody a favor, and maybe you should hold off on trying, even though you're thinking you're doing the right thing, but you're not. So, and I hope I don't sound too harsh on that, but I'm just I feel very firm about my beliefs when it comes to animals, and again, I have that no tolerance policy, and
Well, I think that they don't have a voice. It's very important for us to be able to give them one, because that's all that they have. They don't have people to advocate for them like that. They can't make decisions about what happens in their life. And I remember I talked to one shelter dog who literally, she was so depressed, and the foster mom didn't understand why she was so depressed, because she just feels that she has no control over anything that's going on. All she's showing me is different people shipping her to different places. I don't feel like I have any control over this. And then she felt like the foster mom had control. She felt as far as she understood, humans had humans had the power to do anything that they wanted. As far as she was concerned, they were like God, and they were punishing her. She thought that the foster mom had the ability to bring her back to the place where she came from. Like, that was her mentality. And once I sort of explained to her that we don't have as much control as you think we do, she settled down in the house more. She kind of started to realize that rather than this person playing God, this person is just genuinely trying to help me.
Right. I just realized her butt's to the camera. I wasn't even thinking.
Surprise.
Oops. Here we go. I looked over and her bum's at the camera.
It's also really interesting, too, with behavioral problems where some dogs, for example, I talked to one dog who had behavioral issues, and she was telling me, I'm such a good girl, and they always yell at me all the time, and I don't understand why. They just yell at me, and maybe sometimes I don't think before I do things, but they just get mad at me all the time, and I don't get it. And so I was talking to the person who was talking to me about it, and I said, this is what she's telling me. And she says, I'm surprised that, she didn't tell you about her, barking at the old lady in the walker, or her chasing the cat up the blinds. And I said, when I meet you, I'm not going to be like, hi. I'm like, I drank
These
a
are
lot
my
in high school,
yeah.
you know? Like, I went skinny dipping and embarrassed myself. Like, that's not...
Right.
They want to make a good impression just like you do, you know?
Right, right.
And then at the same time, so you have this dog who has behavioral problems who's just like, they just think I'm bad and maybe I am bad and I can't do anything right, but I just don't know. And they have the same behavioral problems as this dog who's like, the humans don't know what they're doing.
Right.
I have to maintain order in this household. Somebody has to.
I
This is
love it.
ridiculous, you know? And so it's really interesting to see the different personalities that come through in these dogs. Even with the same behavioral issues, it's just two totally different psyches, you know?
Right.
It's very
Just like
cool.
people.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, can you guys bring me Miss Lillian Marie, please? Dog switch number 3.
My beeves.
What's that?
I love Lily.
Lils Marie.
She's very wise. She's a wise little diva.
Oh, and there's questions too? Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so nice to see you again. I know. Do you want me to answer the question?
Oh, you know what?
first, or
I'll
do you-
read the questions to
Okay.
you. How's that? And then you can
Sounds great.
hold on. Do you ever get animal communication in public, and how do you deal with that?
I do get animal communication in public. However, in the same way you do medium work, it's easier to spend time individually or in a quieter situation to tap into that. So when I do animal communication in public, I usually can pick up on what the dog's feeling and what the dog's emotions are. For example, at the pet adoption event that we did last weekend, there was a dog and I came in and he immediately was like, I'm terrified. I don't know what's going on. Please hold me. And so I went and I picked up the dog and I held him and he was amazing. But it's sort of little snippets like that. It's not like, the entire life story that I get. It's just sort of the, what's going on.
That
right
emotional right away.
And I don't always do it. I mean, so I think the same thing with medium work. We sort of learn how to turn it off. But, like the other day I had, there was a squirrel outside and I had...
Squirrel!
I had left a piece of... like a loaf of old banana bread from the bakery that I wasn't going to eat out. And I had seen him going around the yard, and I was showing him through imagery that loaf was over there, and that was welcome, and that was delicious, and you could have that. And he kind of was like, I don't know who you are, but we're just going to see. And then once I talked to him a little bit more, he eventually just popped over to the loaf, thanked you, looked back at me, thank you, and hopped away, So
on his merry way.
It does happen, It's not as in-depth, I would say.
You ready for your third puppy? Do you want to hold her?
Yeah, I would love to. I love Lily.
Lily's so calm. She's going to be 10 years old. And by the way, guys, keep those questions coming because I'd love to.
Yeah.
I know we only have a few more minutes, but I know Sarah would love to answer your questions for you.
Yeah, she's talking about how she's mother of the group. As far as she's concerned, you and her are in charge today.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
Miss Lils.
that you guys are in charge. And she also is saying that she was keeping them in line in the back room.
Oh, I'm sure.
She's trying to make sure that they stay quiet for you. That's important to her, that everything runs smoothly.
We're business partners, huh? High five, Lil. High five. She's good at. Usually, she does the high five. High five. Come on, high five. Lils. Paw? She might do it in sequence. Paw? Good girl.
So
Other paw?
smart.
Other paw? Good girl. High five? She's like, no, I'm not doing it, Mom.
She knows there's an audience. I hate to say it to you. She knows there's an audience. With her personality, she doesn't think it's like an amazing thing that she does.
To do it when we're,
She's like, this is embarrassing. I'm on camera. Like there
She
are
doesn't
people
like
watching
it.
me. She thinks it's embarrassing because as far as she's concerned, she's very much the same as you.
Right.
You two are like there's almost like less of a mother-daughter relationship and more like a big sister, little sister relationship with her. She's very much the Robin to your Batman. That's her job.
Absolutely. I love the
That's
comparison.
her job in life, is to make sure that you're settled and that you're happy. When you, especially her, when you are sitting on the couch and she's the one who's next to you and it's just her, that is very peaceful for her. It's very important to her. She really likes to just sleep next to you because it's almost, to her, it's almost a state of like a bliss, because she's perfectly in tune and perfectly connected. And she can also, she's very intuitive. She can also pick up on the spirits that you're connecting with. She can see them sometimes, but she definitely sees, she sees similar images as they come through into your mind. They come into her mind. She finds them particularly boring because she can't understand them.
Right.
But she is picking up on that. She is showing me. She's showing me all the different things. Okay. She wants.
Love it.
In the same way she wants to be your sidekick at everything. So sometimes she doesn't understand why she can't come to everything with you.
Well, it's funny because tonight I was only going to bring Olive and Chloe. And I saw Lily's face at the door, and she was pawing at the door. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't leave her.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going. So that's how she ended up here tonight.
Yeah, she knows that she knows how important you are to each other. There's a very kindred spirit, kindred connection there. I feel like, too, like she has sort of this... she has sort of this bounce of from being like a little puppy to being like the sweet old lady, like back and forth. But she's very well adjusted. I mean, I think too, because she's always been with you. You guys know each other really well. You know how to read each other really well. And that's very comforting to her. To just know what's around the next corner, to know everything that's going to happen, you know?
So I have to share something with you. Whenever time Olive, because it's usually Olive, is doing something she shouldn't be doing, Lily will come right over and sit right at my feet and just stare at me. And I look and I go, oh, something's going on, isn't it? And I'll go find Olive, and sure enough, Olive is into something she shouldn't be into.
Yeah, she's your Robin.
That happens all the time. And you know what? It's funny because even today, I left my bathroom door open when I was showering, and I knew that she was sitting right on the bath mat, and so I look out, and there she was, and I'm like, uh-oh, something's going on out there, and I can't do anything about it. So sure enough, I get out, and there's torn up receipts that I had on my table that
Does she boss around the other dogs, too? Because I feel like she tries to play deputy with them as well.
She tries, but especially with Olive,
won't
because of her size, I think.
Yeah. You are the deputy, huh? Look at her. She's like talking about the importance of having a secure household, and like how it's like it's the most important thing to her is to make sure like everything is in order, and so then we can have fun. But everything has to be in order first before we can have fun. Mommy has to be happy, and if Mommy's not happy, then I need you all to make sure.
Oh, I sound like Mommy Dearest.
Yeah.
Is Mommy happy? No wire hangers. No, I'm just kidding. That would never be me.
But she's very like, it's very important to her to make sure that you're happy. I think more than the other dogs, she's very focused on what's going on with you.
She's my little nugget.
Yeah. You are a nugget.
We're one day apart. Her birthday's the day after mine.
Thank you for kisses. Thank you so much. She's also, I'd say, too, more than most dogs that I talk to, she's very interested in talking to me, versus other dogs are not always very interested in talking to me. Sometimes they're very nervous, or sometimes they'll just run away. What is going on in there?
You heard her noise, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't want them to be causing a ruckus in there.
Right.
This is my... She really is. I mean, everything that's coming through that she's saying is so interesting, because she's very much talking about how important this is for you and how we have to make sure that it goes.
Right? Well, no, because she's just like me.
A wedding planner or something, you know.
Miss Lils, we're in it together.
She's so funny. Beautiful. And and she talks too. I know we talked about this before. She talks about all the adventures that you guys have been on together.
Oh, she's been my sidekick 100%.
And she's your rock, and that's very important to her. And it's she's. I mean, I know that I keep saying it over and over again, but what she's telling me is that she's so loyal to you. It's really important. Do you have anything that you want me to ask her?
Questions. Is she happy where we're living now?
Yeah, I mean, she thinks it's comfortable. It's a comfortable environment. She has no problem with it. She doesn't. She's getting frustrated with men who make you upset, and would make a lot of sense. And I don't want to open up a can of worms or anything, but she's very protective over you in that sense, that nobody upsets you, that's not okay with her. So she does like the living environment now because it's like
nice.
It's like party time with the ladies, you know.
Yeah,
like
it's a little sanctuary.
It is.
Huh?
It's a little happy tea party. And did you have a sweater for her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
She likes the sweater. I don't know.
We have. Oh yeah. I have a couple different outfits for her.
Okay, she likes them, which is odd because I usually don't hear that.
Well, whenever I get a costume out or anything for her to wear, she'll come right over and wanna.
She loves them. She says that she feels very fancy in them. She's like, so cute. You special? You are? So beautiful. Her eyes too are getting a little cloudy.
Okay. What does that mean?
The same way when you
like cataracts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know what cataracts feel like, but to me, it's almost like a little bit of a cloud over everything. Like the same way kind of the world looks when you've rubbed your eyes a little bit and you open them directly, or when you just wake up. It's almost a cloudiness to that, but she still has fairly good visibility.
Good.
I don't sense that there's anything else that's going on with her. Like her sister, she is getting hungry because she hasn't been fed yet.
I know.
So I'm getting hungry.
I know.
And you, I don't know if you've bought treats. I don't think you haven't given out treats recently.
I've been giving them carrots.
Okay, she's not happy about that.
No, because it's new, because I never give them table food.
She wants the one from the bag.
Yeah.
That's what she's showing.
Yeah, because she's like, how do I eat this?
Yeah.
In my 10 years, I've never had carrots.
She's very frustrated with, well, not very frustrated, but she's annoyed with the fact that there haven't been real treats lately.
Right.
She wants the ones from the bag, and she's showing like a yellow bag or like a
that's a yellow bag.
Yeah.
If you guys were in my house, I would show you.
Yeah, so that's important to her. And her too, I think she very much enjoys the outdoors as well. And particularly birds are very interesting to her.
Oh yeah, she loves the outdoors. She loves bird watching.
Mm-hmm. She'd very much like to fly if she could. She doesn't really understand how that works though. She's waiting for that to happen for her. In terms of literally she's wondering if she has wings, how to access them. You know, she wants to.
Seriously, I can even take her. She's so cute.
She's very cute. She's very wise too. I mean, she's definitely has a lot. I don't know if she's a fairly old soul, but I do know that she has a lot of sort of wisdom in her mind and in her spirit.
And a puppy at heart.
Yeah, she's very intent on just staying with you forever, and that's
as she will.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
So now how can people get in touch with you if people were interested in getting a reading for their animal or...
Well, I do. One option, I think that's probably the easiest, is I do have a Facebook page that's called Joyous Voices with Sara Corey, and that's spelled Sarah without an H and Corey, C-O-R-E-Y. And you can send me a message on there, and I'll be able to contact
it's actually
you from
right
that
up
point.
there. Joyous
how
Voices
helpful!
with Sara Corey.
Yeah, so you can definitely check that out. Right now, I'm not opening up my email, telephone number, or anything like that to the general public.
Well, why not?
Yeah. Well,
I'm just kidding. Same reason why I don't.
Yeah, I promise you that if you send me a Facebook message on that page, I will get back to you, no problem. One thing that I do like to let people know, I'm happy to help breed your dog and help with animal communication or sometimes mediumship, but I cannot tell the future. I don't, I'm not a psychic.
How does that sound? That sounds pretty familiar, guys.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that, you know, too, that I very much ask you not to ask me to make really difficult decisions for your animal. I've had people ask me, you know, about whether or not it's the right time to put their dog down. I don't think that that's, I feel like that's a little too much pressure on me
Absolutely.
right now. So I don't really like to do stuff like that, but I'm more than happy to help with behavioral problems. And like I said, if you work with a rescue, if you have a foster dog, I'm more than happy to do a free reading. That's no problem. I like to help as much as I can.
Excellent, excellent. And now, what if someone was interested in maybe adopting or surrender, if they unfortunately had to surrender their pet, what's the best way to get in touch with you for that?
With surrendering, it's very difficult. I personally can't place dogs in my rescue. It's not my role in the rescue. So if you have a dog that you need to surrender, you can contact me. I can try to put you in touch with the right people, but I can't make any guarantees. If you're interested in adopting a dog, however, I know plenty of rescues. Like I said before, I work with Last Hope Canine Rescue as one of their coordinators. We have amazing dogs. You can go on their Facebook page, and each dog has their own album that you can look up and see their biography. If you're curious about a dog, you can always send me a message, and I can let you know more about them. And if you're looking for more information, too, we also have a website as well, and that's www.lasthopecanine.org.
And always, I know a lot of these, the foster homes and shelters and so forth, they're always looking for donations. So whatever it is that you can to donate, I think that would be great. And I want to end tonight by saying thank you so much. And also, guys, if you are interested in donating, I am going to be doing an event, Paranormal for Paws, in Franklin, April 26th. There's going to be a lot of paranormal
I'm going to be
people there. Yes, you are going to be there,
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm
Good,
definitely.
good, good.
Even if I don't have anything to do, I'll just show up.
Good, good. You should. You can sit with me at my table.
Yeah.
But that is April 26th in Franklin. I'm sure I'll be talking about it again. Thank you again, Sara Corey, for joining me tonight.
Oh, it's no
and
problem.
for all you guys at home, I will see you next week. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching.